Queens get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. I'ma knock it out the park with this one, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. Queens get the money. Queens get the money.
We won a game. Yeah. Listen, damn, we had this whole show planned about how bad the Mets were going to do. We had to switch it up. Welcome to Queens Get the Money. We finally won a damn game. We got Nicole in the building, Silent Assassin. We got Tom Greer in the building. How you doing, my good team? It feels good. It feels good. I never thought that winning a game would feel so good in April. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me?
Yeah.
Armand is in here. Victory, absolutely. It's a per Mike Puma, Francisco Lindor will receive. Oh, great. You just killed the vibe, Armand. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll spin it for you. When we're done with the intros, I'll spin it for you.
Unbelievable. Listen, we will deal with that when we deal with that. But let's just go ahead and just celebrate this victory. I am going to go out on a limb and say that Luke Weaver is our new closer.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he kind of sort of has to be at this point. I don't know. Maybe it's a closer by committee. Maybe it's just maybe they're just going to try to figure out who their closer is going to be, because it sure as shit ain't Devin Williams right now.
Silence, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's had closer experience, in the past, so I think that he is the next up, and he has been pretty solid, this year. So there's like a few outings that were a little bit messy, but overall he's been pretty solid. So I'd give it to him for the time being until at least Devin Williams is able to kind of fix himself. So
all right, listen, I'm good on Devin Williams. I don't want to see him no more. I don't want to see him anymore. Okay, I'm all right. Some guys just can't pitch in New York, and he looks like he can't pitch here. That's what I'm saying. It's still early, right? He's a part of the team. We're not going to send him to Mars yet, but let's go ahead and just discuss this victory. Now, want to go ahead and get your thoughts, Tom, in regards to your feelings about the game, how it was unfolding. Give me your raw thoughts in real time.
I just like it. A lot of the game felt like this is the team that we've been watching day in and day out. Can't score any runs, can't get any meaningful hits. A pitcher has to be near perfect.
Yeah,
which is something that we've kind of been saying about the Mets going back to last year. For the most part, Mets pitchers have to be perfect, can't give up anything, and maybe win by a score of 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that. We kind of have a similar thing happening right now. It was only a one-run win. They didn't score a whole bunch of runs, but it is still a win. I am still happy about it. I was actually getting into an argument with my dad about this just before. They said on the radio, because we were in the car, they said on the radio that I think it was one of Soto's flyouts or something, that he got a lot of it. There was a lot of exit velo on the ball. Like, he really tattooed it. It was just right to a guy. My dad said that doesn't matter. To me, that matters. More of these guys actually barreling up the ball. Sure, they're going right to people, but it shows me that they're getting hard contact. And when you're getting hard contact, those hits are going to come.
Oh, no, there is definitely data that backs that up.
Yeah.
Like, even when there wasn't this heavy, reliance on sabermetrics and analytics, you can always tell when a guy was getting out of a slump, because he was starting to hit the ball hard. He would hit them hard, but it would still hit it to somebody with, oh, he's hitting the ball hard. Okay, cool. He's starting to get his timing. He's starting to get his rhythm. His mechanics are looking good. Like, he's starting to figure it out. And slowly but surely, you'll start to see them come around. So there's definitely data that backs that up, that if guys are on the ball and they're hitting it hard. There's going to be times where you're going to hit it to somebody. That doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't win the at bat. Like, you won the at bat, but sometimes you hit it to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So that's all it is that you want to see guys making really good contact. That's how you know that things are going well. I would rather somebody hit 114 mile per hour fly out, knowing that he connected on that ball and the outfielder was just positioned properly and he got the ball, or you got a good jump on the ball and got it on the wall, like whatever it is. But there are signs when you can see guys start to get their timing down. So absolutely.
Totally. And I also, like, I don't want to sit here and I don't like, I hate a lot of the times when after a win, people have to nitpick all the negatives that were there in the win. There are plenty of things that you can complain about, but in reality, the Mets have been playing a bad brand of baseball for a while now. The Mets needed this win. I don't care how they got it at this point. Yeah. They went on a 12-game losing streak, and that finally ended today. And now they can lift that off their shoulders, get that off their chest. Okay, guys, we got one. The streak is over. New season. Let's go forward from here. Like, all you got to do is get that first one, and win a baseball game. We have proven that right now.
Silence Assassin, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, this, overall, they obviously. So I was gonna say that the 2 games previously that they came close to winning, I felt like, yeah, it was a win, but I still kind of felt some type of way because it was basically only home runs that kind of got them those runs. So it was refreshing to see that they didn't need a home run, tonight, that they were able to get, guys in and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, that was definitely a positive and pushing in the right direction. But obviously there's concerns that did also come up in the game with Lindor and whatnot. So that's, not what we want to hear right when we get Soto back. And also, too, Soto's allegedly not even 100%. He's kind of rushed back a little bit. But they are going to have him kind of slowly get back into it. So hopefully tomorrow when they do the MRI, we'll see what's really going on with Lindor, if he does have like a strain, because that they said the same exact thing with Soto, that it was calf tightness, and then later on found out that he had a strain in the calf. So, that's the only thing. But the pitching was good. And just, it was definitely a better, like, obviously, like you said, Tom, that it was still you were kind of waiting for something to happen, but like it was like the usual kind of slow at bats and all this stuff, and then finally it hit. But definitely good to get that win out of the way and kind of move forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not going to try to nitpick. I might, because that's just who I am. But it's just good to be able to get the win, get that monkey off your back, and go from there, right? So let's go ahead and go break down the game. Who wants to break down the game? Tom, go ahead.
Well, I honestly, I want to say that I'm looking at the box score right here. They have post game on. Wasn't a lot of offense, but Bichette went 1 for 4, Soto went 1 for 3, Robert Jr. 0 for 4, Lindor went 2 for 2 before he came out. Beatty walked twice. I think that's the biggest news of this game is Beatty walked twice. That's crazy. Alvarez 1 for 3 with the big double. Vientos 1 for 3, Simeon 1 for 4, Tommy Pham 0 for 3. I mean, nothing else. You're not really expecting much out of Tommy Pham, but again, still a relatively quiet night for the offense. Big thing though, Clay Holmes going 7, huge. Clay Holmes being able, even after giving up the home run to Buxton to tie the game, going 7 is huge. That's something that I've been liking to see, even yesterday with what happened.
Yeah,
McLean. McLean was at least able to he blew it in the 7th, but was able to make it to the 7th.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you in regards to being impressed with Holmes. Like, the fact that if we can get guys, even 2 guys out of the rotation to be able to go deep, it saves your bullpen.
Yeah.
It lessens the pressure on the bullpen. Now, guys are still giving it up in the pen. That's on them. But if the starting pitching is doing what they have to do, then now the bats have to go ahead and take care of business. If guys going 7, giving up 2 runs, you got to go ahead and do your work. You know what I mean? And figure out how to be able to drive runs in, whether you got a small ball, you gotta bunt guys over, you gotta advance the runner, whatever you have to do. There needs to be a sense of urgency and maybe some type of change in strategy, because right now, April 22nd, we have no offensive identity at all. We don't know what this team is good at. We don't know what this team is bad at, really. Like it's just been this weird phase of like, what the hell is happening? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys are not getting barrel on balls. Like we don't know what they are, but we know what these players are individually, but we don't know what they are as a team.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to figure out is what type of team is this?
And I think that's what, and again, I don't want to take up all the time. I just fundamentally, I get angry. The reason I've been angry at this whole thing, like I said it last week, if you guys could see our group chat, it's insane. I feel bad for Nicole most times. It's insane. I have my main source of anger for this whole stretch has been on the players. These players are not this bad. It is like historically bad we're seeing from a lot of these players. Bo Bichette, not this bad. Even Jorge Polanco, he is hurt a lot, not as bad as he has been. Trevor Siemian might be a little bit over the hill, sure. He's not this bad. You know what I mean? Luis Robert Jr., I still don't believe he's this bad. This whole team has been playing bad baseball, and it is infuriating that they can't play to the back of their baseball card for this long.
I agree.
Because again, say what you want, and I saw Elvin. I saw what you said, that David Stearns was a big mistake. David Stearns' moves have blown up in his face this year and a little bit last year. I'm gonna chalk a lot of last year up to injuries. We're not talking about last year. It's blown up in his face this year, but everybody from us to pundits on TV to people around baseball, people making Mets content, everybody looked at that lineup that he put together and that roster that he put together was like, you know what? That's good enough to win. That's good enough to make the playoffs. That might even be good enough to contend for a World Series. And guess what? None of these players performed. David Stearns can only sign the guys. They have to put the gloves on. They have to put the cleats on. They got to hold the bat. They got to go perform. And guess what? They're not doing it. Or at least today they have. But for the 12-game losing streak, they have not. I'm so thrilled that those guys get to go into the locker room and get to celebrate a win. Let's go get one tomorrow.
What are your thoughts about the chances of picking up a win tomorrow, Nicole? What is your confidence level on that?
We have Scott, and who's pitching for the
I'll tell you
Twins?
right now. Some guy that I probably have never heard of in my goddamn life, because he plays in Minnesota. Oh no, actually, surprising enough, have heard of this guy, Joe Ryan.
Lovely.
Yeah. After that, not too confident, but we'll see. Because Christian Scott hasn't had that many starts in the major leagues because he got hurt and was out.
And he's only had a handful of starts in AAA as well.
Yeah, so I think you just on pitching matchup alone, I feel like you just kind of give the edge to Joe Ryan because he's been a solid starter for the past couple of years. So, which unfortunately sucks to potentially lose another series, but at least he got some type of win.
At least we got this one.
Yeah, but maybe there's some, once they got the win out of the way, maybe they'll feel better tomorrow as well, and kind of the offense might kind of kick into overdrive, and you never know, because obviously a pitcher can have a bad game. The
biggest thing about sports, for people that have played sports, right, is confidence is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Winning is contagious. Winning attitude is contagious. Losing is contagious, because if people are starting to be so negative and you're around that all the time, then the pressure gets more elevated. People are playing tighter. It's not fun. So both ways are very contagious. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how they respond tomorrow, to see exactly what happens, how the bats respond, how they respond to the news about Lindor, because we're actually going to talk about that obviously too. The fact that Soto comes back from the injury, and now Lindor is going to be out the door possibly for the same injury. It's like, can we get our two good best players in the same spot at the same time, please?
Please.
Like the injuries hate each other too. Is that what it is? Like, it's crazy.
I do gotta say though, like how encouraging was it that like how many times have we seen a guy come back from an injury, however long, and like take the time? Again, I'm not saying Soto's fully back. I'm not, I'm not saying after today he's MVP chase, but I'm saying Soto came back and immediately he got on base. He started producing. He was barreling up the ball. That makes me that encourages me a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to have to sit around hopefully and hope Juan Soto's going to get healthy. No, the dude's here.
Yeah, and Armand says with the first win in 2 weeks, the Mets moved up into the tie of last place. They're not tied with the Phillies, who have lost 8 in a row. Yeah, I want to see Stephen A. Smith go to First Take and talk about the Phillies now.
I don't even know if he knows they're still a baseball team.
He knows nothing about anything.
No, he doesn't know baseball.
Doesn't know anything. But I digress. So who are the MVPs of this game outside of Clay Holmes? You're gonna have to give it to your boy, Tom.
Francisco Alvarez?
No.
Who's
Well,
my
no,
boy?
Alvarez was good, but
Yeah,
your man Mark Vientos.
I look at the Mark Vientos thing as a push simply because he owes us. Running through a stop sign when you're in that instance, bad idea. It's a bad idea.
Mark Vientos is the J.R. Smith of the Mets. That's who he is.
J.R. Smith contributed.
Yeah, but he was a knucklehead.
Yeah. Like I'll give Vientos his flowers for getting that go ahead hit, but I agree with Armand. It's Luke Weaver.
Yeah, Luke Weaver.
Now, real question is Luke Weaver going to be able to go tomorrow if they need him?
I don't see why not. I mean, he did pitch. I think what did he throw? Close to 30 pitches.
4. Oh yeah.
Did he pitch last night?
No.
No, he didn't. Okay.
But
all right. So then,
pitches.
yes. So then I guess he'd still be able to go.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on how Mendy uses him because Mendy's very, very weird with his utilization of the bullpen. So we'll hear about what he says tomorrow. But you gotta go to Weaver at this point. If he's looking good, then you have to ride the high hand. I'm telling you.
Agreed.
I don't want to see Devin Williams. I just don't. I don't want to see him in any situation right now. I just don't. I don't care. Francisco Alvarez, they're gonna have to move him up. Like, I understand that he's a catcher and you want to give him rest, but you're gonna have to figure out that DH position. Like, Soto looked pretty good for me to me today. So if you're gonna DH him a couple of days a week until he gets fully healthy, but Alvarez has been amazing. He's been locked in, and that's my MVP for this game, just because his approach has been like on point for the last week and change. He's just, people need to look at his approach and just bottle that and go with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I love to see that part of it. Brett Beatty, like you talked about, 2 walks today, right? This is a guy that wasn't drawing any walks for the entire season. Got 2 walks. So those things you want to see. You want to see guys starting to develop the identity, because we all praise Troy Snicker here, right? We all talked about how great the addition of Troy Snicker was, but we need to know what his actual approach is as a hitting coach. What do you want the guys to do? Do you want them to work counts? We thought that, Paul Skeens game, that's what the philosophy was going to be going forward, that we're going to work counts. We're going to put pressure on the pitchers in regards to if they're in deep counts, if they're continuing to be in 3-2 counts, we're going to make sure that we make right decisions and not chase. But we haven't seen that all season. So I'm hoping that we can go back to that, where we got guys on this team that are not free swingers. Like, Bo Bichette is not necessarily a free swinging guy. He doesn't strike out, but I don't consider him a free swinger. We have to get guys that can lock in and be able to focus on what the actual situation is, right? Like, not everything is like, okay, just swing as hard as you can. And no, there has to be some type of situational hitting. One thing that I love about Juan Soto is that guy knows situational hitting. Even that hit that he got in the 8th inning, like that was something that's typical Juan Soto, right? Knowing how to work the count, knowing how to be able to utilize whatever's open and go that way. So, I want to see how they bounce back tomorrow, because I had no idea they were going to win this game. Like, seeing it, they were 2-2, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then they loaded the bases, and I'm just like, all right, anytime now they're going to give up the run, and they didn't give up the run, and then we got the run. It's just like, all right, cool. Well, you need some luck. So
needed this game. Huge that this game didn't go to extras. Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Armand says, does Mauricio get called up and play shortstop? I think that might be the only option. We were talking off pod before we came on air, Armand, that, do you go, do you go Bruhan? Do you go, I don't know who you go to outside of Ronnie, because if you call up Ronnie, then that's it, right? Like, you can't bring him back down, right? Like, I think that would be it for his options.
I don't know fully how that works. The thing about it is I don't know if there could be anything more demoralizing to a player than going on a tear like Ronnie currently is, and
getting called up and not playing,
and not even not playing him, not rewarding him with a shot. If he has a shot to play at the major league level, if Lindor is going to be out for any period of time, you have to give it to him. How much of a spit in the face is that he looks like minor league Barry Bonds right now, and then you call it Bruhan instead of him? Like, what are you doing?
But I agree with you. But my thing is this, and then we'll turn it to Nicole, is that if you do call him up, say Lindor does go on the IL, right? You're going to, whether it's a 10-day, whether it's a 15-day, right? Hopefully it's nothing more than that. But if it is a 15-day, okay, cool, you're going to have him in the lineup for that time. But what happens when Lindor comes back? You can't have this young guy not getting playing time. Like, that's the whole point. You can't say, okay, thank you for the 15 days, and now you're just going to sit on the bench. You have to, if you call up Ronnie, that's it. You have to have him a part of the team, a part of the rotation going forward. You cannot have it. You can't have him sit. That's my concern, and that's why I say that they would probably look at somebody else for right now, because I don't think that they're ready to call up Ronnie, because once you make that call, you're not going back from there. You know what I mean? And I just think it might be too early to do that.
I agree. Last thing, and then Nicole, I'm sorry that we're bogarting this.
Okay, so
last thing.
Armand says Ronnie has one option left for the entire season, so he can be sent up. Okay, so if that's the case, then we'll see how that goes. Nicole,
this is what it says.
About that?
If he is optioned to AAA Syracuse for a consecutive period of 20 days or more, he will be out of options for the remainder of his career, meaning the Mets would lose the ability to demote him without him exposing him to waivers. So again, that's a weird time thing.
Okay.
But so they might still be able to send him up and down.
Got you. What are your thoughts, Nicole?
I think also honestly too, like, I know Lindor is getting an MRI, so that will reveal more. But I feel like if they have a pretty good grasp of whether it's going to be more serious versus not, I think that also depends, too, if the option situation is going to be an issue. Because if he's only going to take the minimum, then have Bruhan here for, a couple games. But if it's a longer IL stint, then you have the, better player in Ronnie. He's playing better in AAA. So, and then also too with Bruhan, I mean, you do get, the flexibility. I know he plays like every single position, so that's also potentially a plus. But it's just like you guys are saying, like, it's just like a shame that Ronnie's such a good AAA player, and then he kind of comes here and then is kind of doesn't really get the time to shine like he deserves, because we've talked about it in previous episodes and whatnot. Like, he definitely has the athleticism and the ability to be a star player, but is that here in New York? Because he's not really given the opportunity every single time that he's here. He's always up and down on the bench, playing and whatnot. So I think I feel like for me, like, it really depends on also too, like, what Lindor is injury wise, like, once they find more details about that.
Let's hope for grade 1.
Yeah,
If
But-
we hear grade 2, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, you and me both.
Because grade 2 is automatic 4 to 6 weeks. Automatic. And that's reevaluation at 4 to 6 weeks, not you're coming back in 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. You just got to pray. But again, so you just got to pray that we're going to get some good news. I'm praying that it's the only thing that scares me is Lindor is one of those guys where it's like impossible to get him off the field. You know what I mean? So like it makes me think that it was pretty bad, but I'll let the doctors handle all that.
For him to, he was laying there for a little while and then he got up, but it's
But to circle back to Ronnie real quick, it's something that we were talking about before we went live. This is the time for Ronnie. If Lindor is going to be out for any period of time, Ronnie can play shortstop. The other position that Ronnie's played at the major league level is left field. If Juan Soto is going to get DH days, if he's going to get rested, if he's not going to be if he's not going to get a bulk time in left field, they're going to give him days off for DH days. Let Ronnie play left. Let Ronnie, if he's hitting a ton of home runs and hitting in the minor leagues, let him DH the days that Soto's in left. Let him play left when Soto's DHing. If Lindor's going to be out, let him play short. Like this is the time to give Ronnie his due. You know what I mean? Like,
does that mean that we're giving up on Tyrone Taylor?
We're giving up on Tommy Pham is what we're giving up on. We're giving up on Tommy Pham because I'm done with Tommy Pham, and I kind of am like I'm kind of done with Tyrone Taylor. Like I don't want to see him starting a game. I want him to come in for like a defensive replacement when they need the defense to close out a game. That's what I want to see Tyrone Taylor for. I want to see Tyrone Taylor come in and pinch run. That's what I want to see him do. I'm done. Like that is something like, but until they got the win, it disgusted me that we were sitting there and we were watching Tyrone Taylor and Tommy Pham in the corners of the Mets outfield. That shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen.
There's too much talent down there in the minors to be relying on guys like Tommy Pham and Tyrone Taylor. I'm sorry. I would rather give it to a kid that has no major league experience than give it to Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah. Totally. I totally agree with you. The move, if they lost, maybe it's different now that they won. I don't really know. The move should have been Benj looks a little overmatched right now. Send him down, let him get some at bats in AAA. Call up Ronnie. And then I think the other one I saw, I don't remember who tweeted it. I sent it in the chat to send down Beatty and call up Ryan Clifford because he's hitting the cover off the ball. And you could at least stick him at first base. I'm pretty sure he's been playing first since he got here.
Might be too early for Clifford, but MJ Melendez in left field when Soto is at DH. I don't mind that. I think MJ has looked pretty comfortable. So I want to give him a more extended look.
Not at the expense of Ronnie, though, for me.
No, not at the expense of Ronnie. But again, I just want, if they're gonna make that decision for Ronnie, just let him play, man, and stop jerking him around. Paul.
That's what I'm saying. He's got the space. We have space for him. Shortstop for now, because I saw that Metropolitan Report said that Ronnie can play third and Bo could play short. I would rather just Ronnie play short. He's more athletic. He's more athletic at the position than Bo is.
Better arm, better range. And all that,
but he can also play left. He can also play left field.
Yeah. So it says Taylor's a Stearns guy. Of course, we all know that. We all know that Taylor's a Stearns guy.
He can still play. Coming in for a defensive replacement is playing.
How you describe his role is what I'm comfortable with. Late game replacement in regards to offense for defensive switch. Pinch hitting, pinch runner, stuff like that. Like.
Not even pinch hitting. That man can't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
I mean, listen, if you had to, I'm not pressed if you have to pinch hit him. If we're in a squeeze and we don't have anybody, if you gotta advance the runner, get him in there so he can button the guy over. I'm all right with that, right? But yeah, defensive replacement. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you need defense late in games and make sure that you're solid up the middle. So there's nothing wrong with that. Man, I came in here wanting to be negative, and I can't. I feel like Red Sox fans after they won the World Series, they didn't know what to do with themselves.
Oh, how sad is that? How sad is that statement that you just made?
I was preparing to go nuts, okay?
I mean, you can still go nuts.
Let me tell you something. Just because they won this game don't mean I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm not, because I still have to see Carlos Mendoza's face talk about what's happening and what they're gonna do. Listen, I don't give you no damn credit. No credit for what happened tonight. Okay? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. This is on the players. Players did what they had to do. Mendy didn't do a damn thing. Okay? Because if it wasn't for Mendy last night, we wouldn't have had no damn Devin Williams in the game. We probably won that game. We probably won that game last night, and we probably would have just wrapped the series up already.
I don't believe that one bit.
I believe it. It's my truth, okay? Mets need to win every series of this homestand for me to believe it's possible, but they haven't done themselves any favors, right? So, again, yesterday was a winnable game. You should have won that game. Today you win the game. Great. You're going against Joe Ryan tomorrow. That's not an easy game to win, but can you win that game? Of course you can. You have the talent to be able to do it. So let's see what happens, man. I'm curious to see what they look like after this series, because who do we have next? We got the Rockies?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's the Rockies and then the Nationals.
I believe right. Yeah.
Rockies, Nationals.
And Rockies just beat the hell out of the Dodgers a couple of days ago, didn't they?
That's true. Yeah, they did. So I think didn't the Dodgers accuse the Rockies of cheating?
Yeah, it's just shut up.
Who's accusing the Rockies of cheating?
I think it was Dalton Rushing. Shut your dumb ass up. For y'all to have all the stuff that y'all have, you should not complain about nothing. Just shut up. Just shut up. So I'm gonna be at that Nats series. They better win.
Yeah, I mean, James Woods looks like he's on another level right now.
Yeah, because
makes me a little nervous.
They got real talent. You know what? I'm gonna throw a shot at Carson Bench right here. Why can't we have guys like James Wood? We got Carson Bench. He don't look like James Wood.
You gotta give him
Come
time.
On.
You gotta give him time. We might have he barely. I don't even think he played in AAA yet.
We ain't got no Dylan Cruz. Can I get guys like that? What's wrong? Why can't we have good young guys? That's all I'm saying.
Gotta let him develop.
I've made this concern already. I don't like it.
You gotta let him develop.
Connor Griffin on this. You got the shortstop on the damn Tigers that just got money. What's his name? He got some weird name. We ain't got guys like that. We ain't got guys like that. You know what? If Benj were to go to Stearns right now and say, "Hey, I'd like to negotiate a contract for a long-term extension," $6 is what you're getting. You're not getting any more than $6 because your talent level, you're all right, but I need to see it. I was hyped about the guy. I'm not hyped about him no more. Send his ass back to AAA and let him see what he can be able to do down there. I'm serious. It's like I get that he's a young guy. His swing is a little long, but he might need some time in AAA. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he can't come back, but he might need some time down there.
I agree with you.
Armand says, my lineup, if Ronnie's up, Bo, Soto, Robert, Alvi, Mauricio, Vientos, Melendez. Not bad. I don't think that's a bad lineup. I don't think that's a bad line. I might be more suited to move Beatty, like switch Beatty and Simeon. I'd put Simeon as the last hitter, honestly. I put Simeon as the last hitter just because there's veteran experience there that you can be able to have some type of momentum at the bottom of the lineup. I don't know. But it's not a bad lineup. Not a bad lineup.
He's making hard contact. And Simeon's been making hard contact again.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's what you're looking for. We came into the season saying that this guy, he can probably run into 20 home runs, but probably all roads point to him not hitting 20 home runs this year. Yeah. And you're okay with that. If he gives you anywhere between 15 to 17 home runs and can drive in 60, 65, what else are you looking for if he can play a Gold Glove second base? I'm not looking for a guy to hit 35 home runs out of that position at his age. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Have enough offense where we can be able to withstand whatever he gives us. Yeah.
And look, honestly, like we can also be objective and honest and say that this team, like, you can still have all those grievances that we've been talking about in our group chats offline that the Mets clearly do still have. Like David Stearns clearly still miscalculated a lot of the moves that he made this year. I don't want to put as much of this on Mendy as some other people do. I want to put it more on the players, but you know, that's just me because like again, my nitpick is I do not understand why Josh Bell, Josh Naylor, Ryan O'Hearn, Murataka Murakami. I don't understand why one of those 4 players is not on this team right now. I don't get it. I do not get why Jorge Polanco got all of this money to probably spend a lot of it on the IL, and when he was here, was not hitting. Because, so I don't get it.
Because again, it's a guy that puts his lineup together based on what the computer is spitting out to him. Like for you to have put together a roster, Tom, where you don't have a single player that's ever played first base is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but
it's ridiculous.
I have to imagine, though, that those computers, when they're spitting out those lineups, all the data that they feed that machine has to take into account that Jorge Polanco, sure, he hits when he plays, but the key is when he plays. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just simply the numbers told me this. I went with this. I was like, okay, the numbers are telling me this. I'm going to just bet on this gut instinct is what I think he did. And he missed. He swung and missed.
We have we'll go to Nicole. We have a strong and a very, very detailed timeline here with this guy. We saw it in 2025. We saw the type of players that he goes after. He's not, when you compare other teams, right? Like you compare, and I don't like to put the Dodgers in here, but we have to do it just because of the payroll wise. Is that because there's only 2 teams spending the way they're spending? It's the Dodgers and the Yankees. I mean, Dodgers and the Mets. When you look at the players that the Dodgers are going after, and then you look at the players that the Mets are going after, they're not the same. And there has to be a reason as to why. What are you looking for? What is your definition of a winning baseball player? And once we find that out from Stearns, then we know exactly what type of builder he is. We're 3 years into him being here, and I still don't know what he defines as a winning player. I just don't. I don't know what he looks at and says that this is a guy that I want on my team. I don't. I don't know. I have no idea what his strategy is. And that to me scares me because this is a guy that's supposed to be building your team. If you don't know what his actual method is, that's nonsense to me. Like, think about it. Outside of maybe the Yankees, probably the Dodgers a little bit, the Mets scouted Murakami more than any other team in baseball. So you're trying to tell me the guy that you scouted all year, you've gone over there several times to go look at his games, right? You get him in free agency now. The $200 million asking price has gone all the way down to a 2-year or 1-year deal, and you don't jump all over it? That is a concern to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to just be like, all right, cool. Hey, we heard about this guy. Let's see. But, okay, we're getting cold feet like everybody else. You extensively scouted this guy and still didn't move. Mm-hmm. That's what bothers me about David Stearns, is that he sits on the market so long because, the market's going to come down. No, it's not. No, it's not. And then when you end up trying to pounce on guys, you end up getting the tier B or the tier C guys that you're paying tier A money to.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. No,
that's a concern.
Yeah, no, I agree.
When the big fish are out there, go get the big fish, and then you can fill out your team with the tier C guys for your bench guys. But you can't pay tier C guys tier A money and expect them to be tier A guys. Who else was going to give Polanco the money that he's getting right now? Let's be honest.
Probably nobody.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem that I'm having.
No, I don't want to again. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was like specifically the Murakami like deal when that went through. I was like, how come this wasn't a Mets, deal? Like it was literally he's getting paid $5 from the White Sox, and he's at third base and first base.
He's not a great defender, but he's a master.
But like you needed to fill first base, which he could have done. I'm sure, okay job, but we don't need a Gold Glove, and you want to replace that Pete Alonso power, then the guy's right there. Like he can hit, he is, like you said, like a master. He's just power, and we've seen it already. He has 9 or 10 home runs, already. So yeah, that was just a kind of a questionable option, thought from me, because like you said, the Mets were looking at him for a very long time and not even make it, like, an offer. I know, like, the market for the Japanese market, like, was kind of interesting that no one really got a big deal or really, it was very elongated until they got signed. So that was just an interesting, just overall for those players. But, why not give, like, how much is he making? Like 12, 15, something like that? Maybe less?
$17 million a year.
17?
Like
so
2 year, $34 million.
Yeah, so 17 million.
So it's like you're saving $3 million on someone who has, 30 plus home run, power.
Globs of potential.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
When you're replacing a guy that you didn't like, you're replacing him with a younger guy that has just as much power and potential to get better.
Agreed.
That's what concerns me about this guy. It's that I've said it before, is that he just doesn't have the ability to land the big fish. He can land the guys that he can land because he's still a small market mind. He's not a big market mind. I'm telling you.
I will say too, though, like I think it's also rose-colored glasses to assume that, like, because I think probably the Mets probably could have. I thought Josh Naylor was. I think you're right, Armand. I think Josh Naylor was always going to go back to Seattle. I don't know if the Mets actually would have had a shot unless they blew him out of the water. And I do think David Stearns wants to hope that some of these young guys could come take some of those spots in the major league level.
I don't know if he was talking about Naylor. He might have been talking about Polanco.
Oh, you know what? You might be right. We were just talking about Polanco. I don't know. I think David Stearns is really hoping that a lot of these young guys that he's got in the farm system can come up and take those positions, which is why he was so hesitant to give guys longer term deals. But you're right. Murakami signed a 2-year deal. You scouted him more than anybody. The dude is Japanese Yoenis Cespedes. Like, the dude hits home runs, it feels like, every single day. He should be here. Yeah. I just don't know if I would consider, like, Ryan O'Hearn like a top tier. Like, he's good.
No.
But is he?
Ryan O'Hearn is definitely not top tier. When I'm talking about first baseman, I was talking about Murakami and stuff like that. Like,
I don't even know going into the season. But going into the season, I don't know. Like, again, we're looking at it from we have recency bias, unfortunately. Like, we're seeing what Murakami's doing at the major league level right now and saying, you know what, the Mets definitely could have used that. But there's no way that you could have seen that coming at the start of the season. There were people saying that he might not even be able to keep up with major league pitching.
Yeah, but those reports were refuted. Whoever, I don't know what report that was, and I know exactly what you're talking about, but they called BS on that. I think it was just something that was circulated that just was sinking his market for whatever reason. And that's what concerns me about Stearns, again, is that you went to go see this guy, right? You know what, you can tell what can translate. And you said, I don't think it's going to translate.
Yeah, I think it, but we still also have to see a whole season play out. Like, Brandon Nimmo's tearing the cover off the ball. I don't believe he's going to be able to keep that up for an entire season. Like, I think we got to see the rest of it play out before. Like, you got to let this season go before you make that ultimate decision. Right now it sucks. Right now it looks real bad.
But I heard somebody say something the other day, and they were like, if Brandon Nimmo was declining in the outfield, which he was, right? He was declining in regards to his on-base percentage, which was dropping over the last 2 years. The power went up, the on-base percentage went down. You didn't want Pete. You could have probably, in a crazy world, gave Brandon Nimmo a first baseman glove and say, go get it.
I mean, but we're still having the conversation of we're playing guys out of position.
I get it, but if you're gonna do that, at least do it with people that want to be here.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're gonna be creative with the guys that are here. That's all I'm saying. Instead of you trying to reinvent the wheel with guys that have never played in New York.
I think they mostly just wanted to get out of the Nimmo contract. I think it's mostly. I think that's mostly what it is.
I think Stearns is an idiot. I am going to maintain that. Whether they are successful or not, I am not going to get off that. I think he's an idiot because I believe that every person that is fundamentally driven by analytics is not a smart person in regards to the how you look at the game. The analytics is supposed to be a passenger in the back seat. It's not supposed to be the driver. And if it's the driver to make your decisions, I can't trust that. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I'm not with it. I'm not with it. That's not baseball.
But if the Mets turn it around, if the Mets turn it around and they make the playoffs, I'm not even saying win a World Series. The Mets turn around and they make the playoffs. Let's say they get back to the NLCS. David Stearns put that team together. So you have to give him some credit for that. Like, sure, it didn't start out as well as we would have liked. It hasn't started out for as well as we would have liked.
Yeah.
But if the team turns out and succeeds, sure, those moves sucked in the beginning, but then those moves turned out to be good moves because the Mets were competitive. You understand? Like, right now it sucks. Right now we're looking at an embarrassing season last year and in a embarrassing start this year. But if it gets turned around, you're looking at it completely differently. You know what I mean? You know what, David Stearns, those moves actually did work out. That did, sure, it sucked in the beginning, but here we are now.
Nicole, what are your thoughts on David Stearns? Are you impressed? Even let's just take the results out of the equation. Are you impressed with how the team looks over the last calendar year?
Mm-hmm. I would say just looking at it, how it's been like without future potential and whatnot, I would say no, just because really nothing has worked in his favor that he's done. That's the only reason why I would say no in this moment. Because last year he made, especially with the pitching kind of scrambling up a pitching staff together, and you gave, I think just as a whole, you gave I can't even remember his name. What's his face?
Oh.
That got DFA'd, the pitcher.
Oh, you're talking about
Montas. I think that just as a whole, I'm like, I think the whole MLB was kind of like, what the hell are you doing type of situation. So
too smart for his own good.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why I'm saying no, at least now, because counting last year, the Soto deal was done by the Coens, so that wasn't his working really. And then so far what we've seen of this year, that I'm just not really too thrilled with him. But
I that's the thing. I don't know how you could be. I do not blame anybody for saying that. I am. If we're doing calendar year, last year sucked. I think the Mets got plagued by ridiculous injuries last year. That killed the team. Injuries killed that team last year. Right now, it looks really bad. Again, I can't come up here and argue that David Stearns is this genius baseball mind and can build winners, championship teams, because he hasn't built a championship team. He's built a contending team. He hasn't built a championship team. But I think it's important to let the whole season play out. I am going to say it's only April. I do have some issues with David Stearns. I'm not thrilled that.
What are your issues with David Stearns? Let's hear it.
My issues with David Stearns. Oh, my issues with David Stearns is that I can't get behind the preaching run prevention, and We're playing a lot of guys out of position. I can't get behind that. If it works, sure, we'll totally throw that in my face. I can't get over the fact that Josh Naylor, Ryan O'Hearn, Josh Bell, Murataka Murakami, one of those guys is not playing first base for the New York Mets. I am a little upset that David Stearns is falling for Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos that we all have done from time to time. That's my issue with David Stearns. But again, I don't know if it was really anybody in free agency that would have really moved the needle for the Mets, like going in blind without seeing the results of this year. I don't know if there's a move that you could say, you know what, that would have had the Mets better this year. Right now you can say Murakami's home runs would absolutely make the Mets better, but because you've seen that definitely coming before the season started. You know,
if you're gonna go ahead and give me a player that you could have got to overpay for, Cody Bellinger.
Maybe I honestly would have just rather go for Ryan O'Hearn. I would have rather just given O'Hearn the deal that he got from what did he get from the Pirates? Ryan O'Hearn's batting like 300 right now, I think. Yeah, 325. Deal. Ryan O'Hearn's deal with the Pirates. He's on a 2-year, $29 million deal. I would have done that in a heartbeat. You know what? Get a guy that actually can play first base and is currently hitting for average. I would have absolutely done that. Totally.
Our mom makes a good point. He said if the 2024 Mets didn't make that run, Alonso, Nimmo, and McNeil are not on that team last year. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And look, again, I'm not really missing Alonso because he's not really doing much in Baltimore anyway.
I'm not missing any of them.
I'm missing Nimmo a little bit. Nimmo's producing right now.
Yeah, but I'm not missing them as a collective just because. Listen, it was time for guys to go, right? It was just, for me, it was their run was up because his history, we've gone over this several times. When teams fail, you go ahead and you go in another direction. And that's just the way it is naturally, especially for our Mets. You talk about that 2015 team. Look how quickly they destroyed that team after it just wasn't working after a while, right? Like that's just the way things go. And my biggest concern is just what Stearns has done with the money. It's like you have the money to spend it on players that make sense together. That's the thing. It's one thing to just pick players and you're just putting them on a team. This is not MLB The Show. You need to fit guys on teams due to personalities, how they trends, certain. You have these lineup configurations in your head. How are we going to generate runs? Are we going to be a situational hitting team? Are we going to be a home run hitting team? Are we going to be a speed team? When you look at this lineup, I don't know what they are. And again, I'm a baseball guy. So when you look, if everybody's healthy, right? I don't see what type of team this is. Because again, Lindor is not a leadoff hitter. He's just not. So you didn't address the leadoff situation, right?
Well, but he has been.
He was the only reason why Lindor was leadoff because we had nobody to do it that year, and he did it and played well. Outside of that, Lindor is not a leadoff hitter. He's just not.
But I'm sorry.
More comfortable with being a third hold hitter. That's who he is at his core. When he was in Cleveland, that's where he hit.
I know. Yeah, but he had issues. There was a moment in time where he had issues hitting in the 3-hole. They moved him up to the 1 spot, and he was fighting for an MVP.
Yes, that was 1 year. You can't say that just because you did it for 1 year, you're this is what you are now. It just doesn't happen. Like,
I guess
And that's my problem, is that when you look at this team, it's just like, yo, this shit is just out of balance.
This team was supposed to be a team that like old school guys were clamoring for, guys that were supposed to get on base and get hits. That's what this team was supposed to be. Unfortunately, they've decided to forget how to hit a baseball. Like, that's unfortunately what we've been plagued with. Like, Bo Bichette, a guy that doesn't strike out ever, is striking out like crazy, and it's blowing my goddamn mind.
Can we hear from Troy Snicker? That's what I would love to hear from.
Or the director of hitting, whoever the fuck that is, because there's two guys.
There's two of them.
There's the director of hitting and Troy Snitker, who's the hitting coach. I don't know why we need so many cooks in the kitchen for this.
Because Stearns is an idiot.
But I don't doubt that other teams do shit like this.
I don't give a damn what these other teams are doing. Give me one guy.
Other teams win.
Give me one guy. That's like having two managers. You got like, what do you need that for?
Agreed.
What do you need that for?
Like, wasn't Chavez on his Instagram rants in the offseason saying that he was like, it makes no the whole, because he had to deal with it the past couple seasons, like, it made no sense. It was not workable, because was it Barnes? Like, he would be speaking to some players and Chavez would be speaking to other players, and like, it just wasn't the same type of conversation and whatnot, and it just wasn't meshing well.
You have too many voices in the huddle, too many cooks in the kitchen. That's the problem. Is that why do I need to talk to 15 coaches?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a problem.
You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If you're the pitching coach, I listen to you. Why are there 5 other people here? I don't need to listen to y'all.
Again, I'm again the makeup of the coaching staff and like the inner workings of baseball. I think that's just like, I know you don't care what other teams are doing. I get that, but it's just the league. Like, that's just the league that we're playing in right now. There's a lot of micromanaging of a lot of these coaches. A lot of like JD Martinez got hired to do something. He got hired to be JD Martinez with the Mets. That's what his job is, basically.
Armand, this is not nice. Okay, Chavez can choke on pancakes. Come on.
Yeah.
Just put glizzies. He can choke on the glizzies. He can definitely do that. Pancakes are delicious. Teams are trying to outsmart each other. Absolutely. Yeah. You got these nerds that are in the front office that they're just trying to outsmart each other. Oh, I could be able to figure out. Like, it's just dumb. This is baseball. Baseball is a hard sport, and these people have made it harder. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't even a situation. I've seen so many situations on the Mets where a guy is on first, no outs. No, they're not even thinking about bunting.
Well,
they're not even thinking about it.
Bunting's dead.
But why?
Because they don't value that.
It's dumb. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that the fucking computer's telling you bunting doesn't matter anymore. The fuck it doesn't.
Yeah, but again, I see plenty of baseball teams not doing sacrifice bunts and having no problem scoring runs. Like, I'm not going to whittle down us winning or losing a game because somebody didn't bunt a guy over. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. You can bunt a guy over if you hit a weak ground ball. You know, you can bunt a guy, you can get a guy over if you hit a deep enough fly ball. Like, I'm not going to go crazy over a team not bunting. I want my guys to just fucking hit. Like, I'm not going to bitch that they can't lay down a bunt. I'm going to bitch that they can't hit a single or find a gap or hit it over the fence. Like, that's what I'm bitching about. Like, that's what it infuriates me, because I watch this team and like, I don't understand. I fundamentally don't understand. I'm watching a team that I know statistically is better than what they're currently showing. At least a lot of the players, Lindor, Soto, Bichette. I know they're better than what they're, I guess leave Soto out of it. I know they're better than what they're showing. They just don't fucking do it. And I just do not understand why. I don't get it.
Here's the scary part about Bichette. If he ends up having a shit year,
he's opting in.
He can opt in. He can opt in for more money than what Aaron Judge is making. This is what a contract. What a contract. I'm telling you, man, I don't know how to feel. I just, every day that passes, I dislike Stearns even more. Now, here's a question for you guys. It's April 22nd. June 22nd, Mets are Mets are 8 games under 500. June 22nd. Do you keep Mendoza?
I think it totally depends on what that 8 games under 500 looks like.
What do you mean? It's 8 games under 500. What do you mean what it looks like?
No, he's probably fired before then.
Yeah, I would say
He's probably fired
he
before
gets
then.
there.
Before
Yeah.
then.
He's probably fired before then. I had to say that out loud.
Okay.
But yeah, he's probably fired before then.
If it's still like this for another 2 months, I can't see him being here. Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they win today, lay an egg tomorrow, if he's fired before the Rockies get here.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but again, like this is like I don't want to say, I just don't want to say Mendy is this all-world manager. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Mendy can only play the guys that he has. I've seen Mendy make changes to the lineup. I've seen Mendy try to move stuff around because just guys are not producing. At some point, it has to be on these players. At some point, Mendy can make every move he wants. If these guys aren't going to hit, is he going to just start pulling people out of the stands? Be like, dude, can you suit up? Is he going to pull Dave Raccanello out of being the bullpen catcher for the last 20 years to be the catcher because maybe the guy can hit something? Like, at some point, these players got to fucking perform. Like, it's crazy. Dude. I feel bad. I honestly God feel bad for Mendy. I'm more mad at Stearns than I am at Mendy. To be quite honest with you, like
I am mad at Stearns and Mendy, and I'm mad at Mendy because he allowed Stearns to hire him.
I guess no,
you were so dashing to him that he had to hire you. I blame both of you.
I blame
both of you. It's a package deal, and I want them both gone. And I'm consistent with that.
And I understand that Buck Showalter had the Mets with over 100 wins. I
don't even care about Buck.
I'm just saying it because Metropolitan Report said Buck. I totally understand that he had the Mets with over 100 wins. That was a fucking embarrassment in the towards the end of that season and how you lost to the San Diego Padres. And then you follow it up the following year, again being a bad baseball team.
But you give Mendy the pass for having injuries last year. Why doesn't Buck get the same pass? Because there were injuries to the team in September.
What in
2022?
In 20, yeah, but I'm pretty sure they went into the playoffs. Did they go into the playoffs healthy?
They were banged up.
But I think they went into the playoffs for the most part. The starting team playing.
Starling Marte was the key catalyst to that team that year, and he got hurt.
That's totally fine. We should be relying on other guys other than Starling Marte.
But when he was your catalyst, it changes your lineup.
I understand, but Mendy's entire rotation fell apart last year. His whole rotation. David Stearns didn't give him. David Stearns didn't. Again, I will bitch about David Stearns. David Stearns fucked. I said it at the end of last year. David Stearns fucked up not giving Carlos Mendoza a real pitcher. The fact that at the end of the season or when it mattered, we had to rely on 3 guys that had never been here before. Like that's fucking
Armand
crazy.
Is on your side. Armand says Buck has not got it because he's old. Armand, he's not. They don't want to sign. They don't want to hire him because he's old. That's all it is. But I tell you one thing though. You know what old guy is making things look good? And he don't give a damn about no damn analytics, huh?
Who?
Terry Francona. That's who.
Well, I mean, he's but he's won something before. Like he's got a pedigree. He's won something before.
I'm trying to tell you that there's guys out there that like.
There's a guy.
You see a little analytic book here. I'm gonna throw it in the garbage.
There's a guy.
I know baseball. David Stearns don't know more baseball. He probably don't know more baseball than you.
I doubt that. But I'm an idiot. I am definitely an idiot.
And what is he?
Who, David Stearns?
Yes.
Right now he looks like an idiot, but he's definitely smarter than me. I can't get into Harvard.
Oh, that's why he's so smug. That's why he's so smart. I was trying to figure it out. He's a Harvard guy.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, he's a Harvard guy.
Oh, it makes sense. They're all assholes. That makes a lot of sense.
But can we agree with that? Like, I'm totally.
I will not agree with anything.
I will skewer David Stearns to no end. because 2025 he didn't give Mendy an ace. Mendy had no pitching staff. The whole pitching staff fell to pieces, and then his entire team just decided they were going to do what they're doing this year and not hit with runners in scoring position. He can only play the players that he's been given.
Yes, I understand that, but here's the thing. You said it all the time. Managers get hired to get fired.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be your fault, but sometimes a change is needed. You can't fire Stearns. You can't fire the players. You can fire the coach.
I don't want Kai Correa, though. I don't want Kai Correa.
You don't have to get Kai Correa.
I don't want Joe Girardi.
That's not who I'm hearing that they want. It's either Beltran or the other guy. What's his name? It's not Kai Correa. Kai Correa is like third on the list.
Oh, the Andy Green guy?
Yes. Andy Green is the one that they want.
But he's a bum.
like Andy Green.
But he's a bum. What Nicole said.
Yeah, listen, did he coach the Padres?
Yeah, the Padres.
Coached the Padres for like 3 years. That team didn't sniff the playoffs. So I don't know. I don't trust Stearns to be able to choose a coach. I don't. Because if you're gonna go from Mendy to Andy Green, I'm good.
Yeah, just leave Mendy.
Yeah, just leave Mendy at that point. I don't want one puppet for another puppet. Give me Beltran or somebody else that's going to tell you to go take a hike and leave me alone and get out of my office. That's the type of manager that I want. That's going to tell Stearns to go hit the bricks.
But spending so much time in the front office as Beltran's done now, do you actually believe that Carlos Beltran will take the managerial job and not be analytics driven? I don't think so. Because again, you listed one guy in the entire major leagues that you believe goes off a feel and doesn't use the analytics to drive the sport or drive the team.
I think
you think though, because I don't believe Terry doesn't do that.
I think you confuse what I mean. You in this game, you have to use analytics. You cannot be without analytics in the modern game. What my issue is that you do not need to be a team that's solely driven on decision-making based on your analytics. You have to use it as a partner, as a sidekick. What we're seeing right now is that you're seeing the lineup being changed so often. That's based on analytics. Just because a guy is a right-handed hitter and the pitcher is left-handed doesn't mean that you always have to go with the right-handed hitter because the guy is left-handed pitching. If the guy is batting 125, I don't give a shit if he's right-handed. That's what the analytics is telling you. That's the stupid part about analytics. You need to use your brain. That's what I'm saying. That's the stupidness about it.
This is a conversation that makes way more sense if we have an instance where a guy on the team is hitting the cover off the ball and he's getting swapped out because of matchups. Then this is a different conversation. If Brett Beatty or Mark Vientos is tearing it up, we're getting 2024 Mark Vientos and we're getting whatever good form of Brett Beatty you could think of. If one of them is tearing it up and we're swapping them out for matchups, then I understand having that conversation because you got to ride the hot hand. There is not one hot hand outside of Francisco Alvarez and Juan Soto when he's healthy in this lineup. So Mendy just shuffling it up is to maybe just try to get guys going because nobody is.
Let me ask Nicole this question. We're a full calendar year and seeing this team struggle. You have different players. It's not the same players. You have different players. In your mind, explain to me what you think that is.
I feel like because every team uses analytics, right? So it's. I feel like it doesn't really matter.
Right. Let's take the analytics out of it. Analytics out of it. It's just based on what you've seen Mendy, the players, how they react over the last calendar year. If the players have changed, right? If the core of your team has changed, there's some players that are still here. The core of your team has changed, and the problems still are here. Yeah. Then what is the problem?
Yeah, it comes down to the manager at the end of the day. Because, like I said,
that's
analytics on every single team, but not every team is having issues like the Mets have for the past calendar year.
Exactly.
And just be able to get out of to get the guys like out of the funk. Like I know Lindora had said the other day, like Mendy's our guy and whatnot and all this stuff. And again, like we don't know what's going behind the scenes in the locker room and stuff, but from what I've seen and his interviews and stuff, he just doesn't seem like that guy that's very knows how to kind of like throw a chair around and all this stuff. I feel like he values more of the likability than being more stern on players and trying to be more of kind of the nice guy and all that. When at the end of the day, like where he's more than well deserving to kind of get angry and yell and all this stuff, but that's just what I see of him. And he's not able to get the players out of that rut because it always seems like why is the whole team, the whole offense basically struggling all at the same time. So like who does like that also pinpoint to as well. So I think
that's my thing. That Nicole hit the nail on the head. If things are different, players are different, you still have the same person that can't motivate a dead body leading you as a manager. There's a concern. Mendy as a manager is uninspiring, is what I'm saying. You can have all the talent in the world, Tom. If you don't have somebody who's literally making the lineup card every day and there's no motivation coming out of that.
But I don't. But again, we've heard you. I have a really hard time believing that like managers don't make lineup cards. I have a really hard time believing that because you hear it from both sides. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Some teams are different. Some teams
sure. Some
upstairs. Most of the time, Stearns has said this, that Mendy is the one that puts his card together. So
yeah, but Stearns can say that and nobody believes that. Like for some reason we have this thought that like the manager is totally dead. The front office gives them the lineup and this is the game plan and you have to stick by this. Even though we'll hear from everybody from every team when that comes up, they say no, the manager does have a say in what happens. And again, if Mendy got fired, I'm not gonna be beating my chest saying, "Oh my God, we let a championship manager go. Well, what are we doing?" I'm going to say, I think the players failed Mendy is what I'm going to say because these guys are not playing up to their opportunity. But I totally understand why you would fire Carlos Mendoza. I totally understand why you would say, you know what, maybe we do need a new voice. Maybe that is the case. But I'm still going to put more of this on the players themselves, the guys that are getting paid millions of dollars to go perform. You got given a contract to go out and perform. You're not doing it. And sure, you can give some of that to Mendy if you want, absolutely. But it's really on the players. The players got to go out and play to the back of their baseball card and be good baseball players. But if they fired Mendy tomorrow and hired Carlos Beltran, I'm not going to be screaming and crying. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to understand it. You just went through 12 games of losing straight, and you had an embarrassing season last year. That definitely warrants some kind of change. That definitely warrants something.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to put it all on Mendy. I don't think that Mendy's the problem.
You can't put it all on Mendy. But here's the issue that I'm having. I think this will be the last thing that we discuss, is that the players are never going to tell you the truth in real time, depending on whatever organization they're with. Can we all agree to that?
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, generally.
They're not going to tell you the truth of what's happening in the organization in real time.
Yeah, I'll agree.
My issue is, and this is my concern about what's happening with this Met team, is that we talked about there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Who's to say that there's too many cooks in that hitting room where it's causing confusion to guys who are normally good hitters? They're getting something that's completely foreign to them in regards to approach because you might have too many cooks in the kitchen. Does that not make sense to you? If we had issues last year with this, we're having issues this year with this. Doesn't that sound like that there might be something tangible there in regards to something there's a disconnect in regards to whatever message is being preached to the players? if I've been playing a certain way my whole life, and then all of a sudden I got to speak to 4 different people to be able to tell me how to be able to change my approach, how do you think that I'm going to go ahead and try to approach this game now when I've been told by 4 different people how to approach the game? It's confusing, right?
Mm.
If they're all,
I think,
yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you go, Nicole.
I was gonna say, like, especially last year with Chavez was like tried to change Juan Soto. It's like you don't touch Juan Soto at all.
Well, exactly. What the fuck are you doing? You just ask him, "Hey, you all right? You want you want a soda?" You move the hell out of the way.
Yeah, and also too the whole Alvarez situation where they kept changing his swinging and whatnot, and he went down to AAA, and they kind of be like, go back to what you were doing, and he came back up and he was perfectly fine. So it's like there's too many voices and all this stuff, like, oh, do this, do that. If this is not working, maybe try this. And I feel like it's just a revolving door of tiering information, but it's not really like seeing what the actual problem is and getting down to the root problem. Like, because obviously sometimes people are going to be in slumps, and it's like this one little tweak that you kind of have to adjust, but you have the coaches there looking for it. And seemingly like all the time, like if you hear on the broadcast, granted he's not a coach, but Keith Hernandez is like, oh, he just has to do this and he'll be fine, like whatnot. But I know it's like obviously not that easy, but if you have Keith Hernandez like kind of looking at the players and like, oh, I think, you know, his hands are too high, and if they play like kind of the side by side, it's like, how come the hitting coach is not really seeing that and doing that adjustment?
That's what I'm saying, is that they're to me, Tom, and everything you said is valid. I'm not gonna try to discredit that because it does make sense. It's not all Mendy's fault. It's never always the manager's fault. It's never always the coach's fault. There's always a collection of issues, right? That cause things to happen in a negative way for any team. But there is a fundamental issue on this particular team. There's a fundamental issue in the front office that's concerning to me because, again, if you're supposed to have new players that's supposed to have different types of personality. These guys are bubbly personalities. These are international guys. They have a certain flair to them. There's something that's not connecting with them for their approach.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it looks that way to me. There's something in this organization. And who said it? I think Pedro said it, that David Stearns needs to start looking at what his organizational structure is to start making changes as to why they're not being successful. But when you keep beating the same dead horse, do you honestly think that you're going to start having results? That doesn't work.
Well, I don't think I think he clearly isn't beating the dead horse because I'm
talking about philosophy, Tom. I'm not talking about players. Philosophy-wise, there might be still the same philosophy in that building that is causing a disconnect with these players. That's all I'm saying.
And again, they're losing, so that's totally fair to say and totally valid to say. I would just say that I think that, again, like we've talked about before, what did we say? 2024 came, and then they decided to try to retool what they had in 2024 to try to add Juan Soto and just kind of capitalize on the OMG Mets and move forward. Remember, we said it in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of the offseason, or at the middle of the offseason, that this was the first time that Stearns tried to build the team with his philosophy and his kind of sort of identity fully. Like he totally overhauled the team. So I don't think like last year in 2024 correlates to this year. I mean, the Mets turned over everything. They changed literally they didn't run back the same philosophy that they did last year. They completely flipped it on a dime and changed it. You know what I mean? And I didn't see a defunct locker room in spring training. I saw a lot of guys that looked like they were having fun. I think what really sucked is that they got off to this bad start. It started compounding, playing in New York, playing for in front of the Mets fans who are not all that great when the team starts losing. Really wears on you. And guess what? That stink, that losing, you said in the beginning of the show, losing's contagious. It was fucking 2020 contagious in that Mets locker room with this losing. You're hoping that this win kind of turns that stuff around. But again, I guess my issue with it all is I mentioned to you, this feels like when I would argue with my dad about Willie Randolph. I would tell my dad all the time, like, Dad, Willie's not that bad. Firing Willie is not going to change this team. It's not going to change anything. And it didn't really change anything. I just don't think firing Mendy, maybe firing Mendy and going to Beltran might be better. He'll be respected in the room. Everybody will love him. Maybe that's it. If it's Andy Green or Kai Correa, that doesn't excite me. That doesn't make me think, okay, we're making the right move to motivate this room, because Kai Correa managed 3 games in the majors and the Giants were like, we're good. We'll find someone else. Evidently, this year they got a guy from friggin' college. And Andy Green, we spoke before, total scrub with the Padres. So I don't know. I would rather just ride. I would, if it's not going to be Beltran, I would rather just ride it out with Mendy and let this team find their way. Figure it out. Fucking figure it out. You guys are good baseball players. Figure it the fuck. Be adults and figure it the fuck out.
It's fair. I just I think I'm just done. I'm just done with what I'm seeing. And
can't be now. They just won. They won today. We're not done with wins. How great does it feel that we're sitting here doing a show and they won? And not one of us thought they were winning that game after Buxton's home run.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Nicole might have been the only positive one. Like I didn't think so at all. I
don't know. It's never over till it's over. So
yeah, exactly.
Hell yes.
Are we at the end of the show where I can be able to bash these guys now? Can
who's going to Mars?
Who is on their mission to Mars? Now look, I think this segment has it's grown legs, because there's something to it. And if there's something to it, then I'm gonna hope that when I put these guys on that rocket ship, that they stay there. Okay? So the first guy that is going to be on their mission to Mars, welcome back, Mark Viento. Mark Viento, let me tell you something. I have no idea what is on your biscuit. I understand that you're trying to make things happen, but when you don't even look at your third base coach and you just run through the line, it's like a kid that doesn't know his parents are there and he just continues to run after he catches the football, and it's like, no, Tommy, you got to stop. Like that's the touchdown area. He just keeps going. Like no. You need to pay attention to what the hell is going on, man. You're not fast enough to outrun somebody who's gunning you, that has a gun. You are not that guy. You're Mike Piazza when it comes to running. Don't do anything. Don't do any type of risk assessment is what he needs to do. And if you don't do it, then you're going to be on your mission to Mars. I can't really fully put you on that mission because you did have that bloop hit today. So shouts to you, but don't do that again. Don't do that again, or else you're definitely going to be on the first class ticket to Mars. The next guy, he's definitely there. Okay. And I don't want him to come back. Devin Williams. Devin. It's not working. Hold on.
Oh, no, he's there.
I don't see it.
Oh no, I did. You know, he's well.
There
I know who's going next.
Devin Williams. Devin Williams is on his mission to Mars. Look, we've seen it last year with the Yankees. We heard that the man did not get over the home run to Pete Alonso all of last year. If you're a closer and you can't get over giving up a home run to a guy, it's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up, because your job is to literally shake it off, right? Quarterbacks throw interceptions, you got to shake it off. Like, this is what it is. You're going to blow saves unless you're Eric Gagne or somebody like that had a perfect save record. Every closer blows saves. That's just the way it goes. You need to figure it out, because if you don't figure it out, they're going to pack you up. And it's not just going to be the front office. No. The fans will come get you. And you don't want that, because Met fans are nasty and they're mean, and they will continue to make it hurt. Because if you thought that home run is going to be in your head, you keep going to Citi Field and pitching like that and see exactly what those Met fans do to you. They are not nice. So, Devin Williams, you are on your mission to Mars. You might want to go there just just volunteer, because it might be better than staying here in Queens. The next guy, we talked about this ad nauseum, okay? I am not going to back off of this. Okay, I will keep sounding the horn. I will start sending those signals and seeing if I can be able to get some sonar communication up there to be able to say we have one that needs to come. All right, we have one that needs to go with you, and that is Carlos Mendoza. Carlos Mendoza, listen, I've seen enough. He is Luis Rojas vibes to me. I don't want him on this team anymore. When you talk about, he was going to steal second base, that's the reason why you wanted to pitch to him. Dummy, he's batting like 500. You don't pitch the guys that are hot. You let him go on. You give him the walk, and you go to the guy that's batting 125 behind him. That's smart baseball. But Mendy doesn't know smart baseball. So if you don't know smart baseball, then you should understand how, fitting clothes works. You know what your size is, right? Nobody tells you what your size is. So you can be able to tell the guys in NASA, listen, this is my size. This is size 15 or whatever it is. Fit that suit and get your ass off this team. I want Carlos Beltran here. I want Joe Girardi here. I want anybody else but Carlos Mendoza. I've had enough. This team, if they do win this year, they're going to win despite him. Just like how they won despite him in 2024. You know how many mistakes the man made in that run? Huh?
He does.
You know how many mistakes that he made? How many bullpen mistakes that he made? That team was so hot, it didn't matter who the hell the manager was. Stearns could have came down and managed that team. It didn't matter. That team was hot. And what did Mendy do? What did Mendy do? Huh? I'll tell you what he did. I'm going to put his face back up here. You know what he did? He said, Jeff McNeil, you haven't been on this team for 3 months. We're going to go ahead and put you back on this active roster. You jinxed the team, and now I will never forgive you for that. So because of that, you are on your mission to Mars. That's it for me. I was going to put him here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until September for him, because if things don't turn around, I don't want him here anymore either.
One more thing.
Clean house of everybody and start from scratch.
I agree with you. One thing I'm going to fight you on is you don't want Joe Girardi. What? Do you want me to tell you why you don't want? Can I tell you why you don't want Joe Girardi?
Why?
Because you know how you say that you hate when analytics is your driving force?
Yeah.
Joe Girardi's nickname was Binder Joe because he got handed a binder with the game plan in it. And what did he not do? Straight from the game plan. So if you want a guy that's going to use analytics to go with his gut, Joe Girardi is not your guy. Joe Girardi is
going to hold players accountable.
David Stearns is going to send one of his lackeys to go downstairs, hand Joe Girardi a binder and say, here you go. This is for this series. Or this might even just be for today's game. And Joe is going to follow it like it's the Bible.
The man won a World Series.
You won a World Series with the Yankees.
It's a World Series. Okay? It's a World Series.
That's fine. Yeah, and then what did he do with the Phillies?
Just like how you like to defend Mendy, he was not the reason why they were playing bad. He wasn't the reason.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure the Phillies turned it right around when he got fired.
What do you think the Mets would do if they fire Mendy right now?
If they gave us Carlos Beltran, I think we have a better shot at turning it around. If it's Andy Green or Kai Correa, I think we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Kai Correa, but I think he'd be better than Mendy.
Kai Correa had a job, and the team that had him said no.
He wanted to come to the Mets because he knew how weak Mendy was, so he could be able to get the job.
Yeah, because he's like, the Mets got a history of signing idiots, so they'll definitely hire me.
See?
I'm also really mad that I don't know if I definitely did. I'm really mad that I gave you that Luis Rojas Mendy comparison. I feel like I might have given.
I already had it.
Okay.
I already had it.
All right.
Listen, Nicole will tell you. She'll tell you. I have been out on Mendy since 2024. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan.
I get it.
I've never been a fan. So I am, if anything, I'm consistent. That's all it is.
You're consistent.
Yeah. So I was asking, what are your thoughts about the people that I have sent to Mars?
I feel like I always have to stick with my Mark Vientos.
Yes, you are a Mark Vientos defender. You definitely are. I respect it.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like in that moment. But then he did get the go ahead run.
Yeah.
Later in the game. He's been solid at first base. So I mean, once his bat heats up, then I think we're having different conversations about him. So we're all excited.
Okay.
But and Mendoza too, like I still do have a soft spot, even though I feel like he's not that manager personality. That's why I like him, because he's like a sweet guy. He's a nice guy. So
Listen,
I can't fully hate him, but
I think that he would be nice to have a beer with. But you could not lead me out of a parking lot, and I would not take your advice.
Yeah, like when it does bother me. I'm gonna lie, like after even last year and whatnot, like when we're in like a big losing streak, or just not, we lose a game and he's like, oh well, I know the players are good, I don't know why they're not hitting. You know what I mean? Like when I hear that just definitely irritates me. So,
that sounds like your drunk uncle that's not paying attention to the game, and then he just looks at the players that but this guy used to be good, right? Why he's not hitting? We know that there's something wrong, but can you give us more? Can you give us more? You're the person that's in the damn locker room. Can you give us more than that? Yeah, these guys are supposed to hit. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. So
yeah, I agree. And Devin Williams, shouldn't really be in that closer role until he's fixed. So it could be a really long time.
If this team doesn't turn it around, I am going to be looking forward to the trade deadline, because I want David Stearns to say we will pay $47 million of the remaining $51 million for you to take him. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want him on this team anymore. I never wanted him, and it's even solidified now. He's going to have to turn into Trevor Hoffman for me to like him. Seriously.
Understandable. Totally understandable.
You literally no more excuses for you. I'm tired of these like advanced stats his real ERA. I don't give a damn what his real ERA is. What I'm seeing is that he's getting hit hard and people love when he's up there. That's what I see.
Also, if you're going to speak up in the locker room, because he was speaking up saying how they're better. And, he was one of the guys that was saying that this team's better than what they're doing. Like, he was one of the vocal guys taking one of the pressers, I think, after the Cubs series. Yeah. If you're going to do that, you got to back it up. Yeah. And Devin Williams, for sure as shit, has not backed it up. So
at all.
Yeah. And you know what? We'll say, I guess, since Nicole is a soft spot for Mark Vientos, astronaut in training.
Yes,
he's an astronaut in training.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not out there yet, but he's on probation.
He's sitting on that machine at NASA that just spins around really fast. He's experiencing what G forces are going to be like.
He is on probation. I'm watching him closely. I am monitoring the situation very closely. That's all for this show. Listen, we got to win today, fellas. Okay, we're in a good mood. This is why we can be able to go ahead and have conversations about other things. But Mets won. They grinded out a victory, and that's what you want to see for a team that's been struggling to score runs or get any timely hits. I don't care if it was a bloop by Vientos. It was a timely hit, and they went ahead and executed and closed the game. That's what you want to see. In baseball and sports, luck is a part of this. Sometimes you need some luck. And the Mets have been very unlucky in this 12-game losing streak. You know, they had a game where they should have beat the Cubs. They couldn't close that game out. Devin Williams couldn't close that game out. So there's a lot of luck that you need to be a good team, as well as health. So let's see if this team can be able to start turning the corner. I'm not saying that they're going to go on a 13-game winning streak, but let's see them play some better baseball within the next, the remaining game of this series, which is tomorrow, the Rockies series, and let's see how they play against the Nationals. If we can be able to, in those 6 games, I think it's 6 games that we have against them, right? If we can be able to go, I would love for them to go 5-1 or 4-2. If they do any of those 2 things, then now it gives me some confidence that they're trending in the right direction. If they go any less than that, there's big concerns for me.
You need to make me a promise, though.
Yes.
If the Mets turn it around, you have to say Well, and what? Let's lay the groundwork right now. What do we consider turning it around? Because I'm talking. This is a long-term thing to the end of the season. Making the playoffs, is that turning it around?
Yeah.
Okay. If the Mets make the playoffs, you have to say one nice thing about David Stearns. If the Mets turn this season around and make the playoffs, you have to say one nice thing about David Stearns.
And if they don't?
I don't know. What should I do if they don't?
You need to go on a Barry Grant Jr. rant about David Stearns.
Oh, I could do that. Oh, I mean, I don't know if I can necessarily match your intensity. I would try.
I want you to imitate me. That's what I want.
Imitate you. Oh, I don't know. I'm bad at imitating. I will go nuts if they don't turn this around. I promise you. I promise you, if they don't turn this around shortly, you'll probably get some anger. All right. If they don't turn this around and the Mets don't make the playoffs this year, I promise you I'll lose my mind. Listen, I promise you.
What I'm waiting for, I've seen you lose your temper already. I need the silent assassin to lose her temper. If that happens, that is going to be the greatest show ever. It's going to be the greatest show ever. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the dam to crack over there because she's always so cool. I need it to go to the point where, all right, enough. I've seen enough. I need to say something. That's what I want. I don't want that because I want them to be successful. But if we're not, I need that. I need that. That's all for the show. Listen, Armand, salutes to you for being always active in the chat. Yes, Joe Girardi didn't win with the Phillies. Of course he didn't. He won with the Yankees. But I'm saying that if he won with the Yankees, he can win with the Mets because it's New York. You see how that goes. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Until next week, maybe we do one of those series ending shows. Not tomorrow because tomorrow's the draft. And I'm going to go see what the Jets do. You know what I mean? See what happened. I don't care about what y'all Giants got. Y'all got cute with the number 5 and number 10 pick. I don't like that. I don't like that. We were the talk of the town. Now, all of a sudden, y'all are the talk of the town. I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. But are you guys going to take that running back? That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there's conversations about love. So
I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it.
See, Armand's a good guy. He's a Jets fan. See what I'm saying? This is my guy right here. We're gonna have to have Armand on the show one of these weeks.
Hell yeah!
I mean, come and talk some Mets with us. But yeah, so I will be there tomorrow covering the draft. Hopefully, I get some good news. Hopefully, Mendoza drops to number 2, and yeah.
Do they think that's gonna happen?
No, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna happen at all. It's either Reese, Bailey, or Bain that the Jets are thinking about. Either one is good for me. I don't care.
Being honest with you, I don't watch like any college football, so these are all just like you could be making up names right now.
Yeah, Armand said, Barry, who do you think the Jets drafted number 2 and 16? Yeah, I think it's those 3 names that I said, Armand. It's either Reese, Bailey, or Bain. At 16 is tough. I think it's gonna be best player available. So they gotta go wide receiver. Whatever wide receiver is the best player on the board at that point, they gotta take him.
And does he play for Ohio State?
Yes. Like I don't want no Ty Simpson. I don't want no damn quarterback. I'm good. All right. If we're gonna be bad, we can be bad with Geno Smith. I don't want nobody else. Like be bad with him so we can get the number 1 pick next year. It says either Reese or Lemon. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. There's been more talks about Lemon, in the last few weeks. So I'm excited. That's all I'm saying. I'm excited. Until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.